As part of UNESCO's transatlantic slave trade project, New London School Administrator Gail Nordmoe is helping to develop a statewide curriculum on Connecticut's historic role in slavery and its eventual destruction.
The transatlantic slave trade project is a project that is comprised of 4 major research institutions and the Underground Railroad, as well as UNESCO. So in this project, Tulane University, the University of Charleston in South Carolina, Penn State University, the Underground Railroad Center, and Yale have come together to have historians and researchers and other people that have been interested from other disciplines such as archaeology and even in the sciences, to look at how we can trace this past and how it can be used as a way to, number one, motivate students, to get the researchers to look at other perspectives of how the past deals with the present, and a way in which we can write curriculum that can be more of a living curriculum about ourselves. And in many ways, the whole topic of slavery has been a topic that has been difficult for people to discuss because many people were hurt, and there are many feelings and attitudes and beliefs that many of us hold that we have not been able to share with each other. I am a person of African American descent, and there are parts of my past that I really don't understand well enough to understand how it may be either overtly or covertly affecting how I think or how I believe now. So I do believe that the past affects how we look at the present. And once we make that present a more current thing, then we'll be able to talk about what this means for our future. There are several components. We want to work with classroom teachers in this project, and so that is where using the New London Public Schools, with an emphasis in the project being to work with middle school teachers, teachers that teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, because in our state we have what are known as curriculum frameworks, and in the curriculum framework for teaching of the social studies, the issue of slavery is a topic that would normally be taught by teachers. But in Connecticut, and this project addresses it in the way that the original proposal is written, we talk about things that are called sites of memory. And these sites are historical places here that we will be able to go and visit and take teachers to these sites and begin to have the historians and researchers tell us of the significance of these places. It could be a way in which we could become more reflective in understanding the history of this country, both the good and the bad, to have more of a redemptive point of view of how we can act and interact one with the other. We may be able to take these sites of memory once the teachers go to them and have them have points of view that they ask children, and in this project, middle school youngsters, to debate issues as to how did the people feel during that period. What do you think you now feel related to the same topic of slavery? What relationship did slavery have to the overall economic well-being of America? And why did this period of time that we find so hard to discuss play such an impactful part in the way we act now and the way we must have acted? Because I would only hope that in the future, a topic that was once considered to be too difficult to discuss can be something that we will be able to talk about. In the New London Public Schools, it is our hope that this year, because the teachers were introduced to this whole concept this summer at the conference, that we will begin to sit down along with not only the New London Public Schools, but the New Haven Public Schools and the Norwalk Public Schools, and have our teachers get together to begin to look at what these sites of memory are. After that is done, we will be able to sit down and have a more comprehensive plan where we will have not only dialogue, but curriculum modules that we will be able to develop that will be directly related to these sites of memory. And as we look at these sites of memories, we can also use the current technology that we have before us, which is another piece of this project that I think can be so useful. There will be the possibility to look at certain sites in Africa and in the Caribbean in which we can let students see that, and they may not necessarily get to go to that country. From another perspective, we may eventually have the opportunity for students to go and visit some of these sites really up close and personal. But if they don't, we will be able to bring that into view for them, and that can be done through the use of websites. I would like to hope that the history that we learn through this project will engage groups of people that are from different racial and ethnic groups to be able to engage in dialogue with each other about a topic that heretofore we have been unable to talk about. So hopefully we may be able to have conversations around slavery, conversations about how did my ancestors feel, how did your ancestors feel, how might people have felt during that period of time, and what impact does it play on how America was shaped and how many people hold different beliefs and attitudes today. Because the atrocities of the past, while they are atrocities, and they must be clearly understood for what they were and for how they subjugated a group of people to feel, we must go beyond that because we are in a very pluralistic society in which so many people of different races, creeds, and colors must live and work together. And maybe through this particular topic, we may be able to work toward another way of dealing and understanding each other.